Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morrisman, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. And today I'm going to do another special video. And I guess I'm a little different at times. I think different from most people. And here's the reason. I'll give you a good example. When I first got into the music business, most of us get into it for the love of the business, not so much trying to make money or trying to become rich. So, at a point in my career when the writing took off, when people started to realize how good of a songwriter I was, an arranger, and how good of an ear that I had, I became in big demand. And when I did a lot of ghost writing, I remember the third song that I wrote that became a hit. And you're not used to getting large sums of money at once. And what I start to realize when that started to happen for me is this. I understand why people become obsessed with money, because it changes your life, And here's a good example of that. I was never one where if I made a large sum of money or became rich that I would go out and just buy stuff that's just overpriced and just waste my money, Why do I need a house with 20 bedrooms, and a big old swimming pool in the back? That's just not things or necessities that I personally desire. So when I got one of my first large sums of money, instead of going to buy a brand new car, I bought one that was like 2 years old, and it was a little truck, a little convertible truck. And I went into the dealership, and I told them that I would pay cash or write a check, and they's like, "Okay, sir," and all that, because when money talks. So when the money got deposited in my account, you become obsessed with looking at your balance every day. How much money I got? How much money I got? I spent some today, but I still got a lot. And I'm one of the people, I really don't want to get into that mindset where I'm constantly just thinking about money. Like that saying, I got my mind on my money on my mind. There are other things in life that you need to enjoy, as far as like watching your kids grow up or building your relationship with your significant other and just things of that nature. So, you really don't want to get caught up in that. I'm just always not concerned about dollar bills, because, I'm not one to waste money, but, sometimes you have this thing that you want to do that you've thought about all your life, and just once, just kind of not worry about spending money, just enjoy it. And I've always wanted to do this, and I got a chance to do this many years ago. You watch TV, and, this big important guy comes into the club and say, "Drinks for everybody." And there was a period that, the songwriting thing was becoming very lucrative. So I went to a club downtown Michigan Avenue in Chicago. This had to have been maybe the late 80s. And I didn't know anybody. I walked in, "Drinks for everybody." And what's interesting is it's not like on TV, because on TV, the bartender just totally obliged, and everybody coming up and getting drinks. It don't work that way in real life. In real life, you got to produce either the money up front or show them you got a credit card that can handle the balance of spending maybe $900, in 10 minutes on all these strangers, But that was just a personal thing that I always wanted to do. And it wasn't so much that I wanted to play big shot forever. Just one day you want to be able to treat some strangers and say, "Hey, I can do this," But be careful about the money situation as far as spending it, because entertainers get paid differently from average working people. And I mentioned this in another video, and I mentioned it again, so this makes sense to you. If you're an average guy or woman, you go to work and you get paid every week or every 2 weeks or the 1st to the 16th or however you get paid. For teachers, it's once a month. So they get their money, and they get it. The money, the tax is taken out before they get their money. But for musicians, entertainers, it's totally different. You get large sums of money, and you're responsible for paying taxes on that money. And how a lot of entertainers get in trouble when it comes to that is this, because they're not accountants, so they don't know how much they need to put to the side for taxes at the end of the year. So when the tax man shows up, it's time to pay your taxes. You got your money set aside, but it's kind of hard sometimes to try to put a little money aside and then spend this money, because you want to spend as much as you can, or stuff comes up. And that's how a lot of entertainers get in trouble, because come end of the year they don't have any money to pay the tax guy, and they haven't kept track of that money. But it's really important to force yourself to put aside or hire an account is just starting, and an honest one, because those are kind of hard to find sometimes, that will show you or teach you what you need to put to the side, so when come tax time you're covered. But again, entertainers get paid differently from regular working people, and they get large sums of money, at once. And I've always been grounded as far as I'm not going to be one of those people that just spend like a maniac, and then, in another year I have nothing to show for it, because unfortunately for black folks, we haven't been taught how to manage our money. We've been taught how to spend it, and that's it. Here's a good example. When the lottery first came about, I think it started in New York City. The first millionaire lottery guy was a black guy named Curtis Sharp. And actually, they used to call him the dog man because he used to wear these hats. Curtis got his million, and in less than 10 years, Curtis was broke. I repeat, Curtis was broke. It's like, how do you spend all that money and have nothing to account for it? And the first thing he did when he got that money is went out and bought Cadillacs, which is fine. Treat yourself because you got the money. But, it's really important that you get some type of financial help or guidance, because most of us don't know how to manage money. We've been just taught all our lives how to spend it. So it's important when you don't know something that you go find somebody that know it and show you how to do it. Because again, I've made a pretty good living doing what I do, and that's because of the things that I wasn't sure about. I consulted professional accountants and other professional people as far as what do you do when you get this kind of money, aside from spending it, because if Curtis Sharp would have taken that $1 million, and of course the tax man got his money off the top, taking that money, put it in the bank, the interest on $1 million, I know back then and probably even more so now, is about $100,000. Now I ask you that question. I ask you this question: can you live off of $100,000 a year? Most of us can. So we don't know that. We've never been taught that. Again, we've just been taught how to spend the money, but not how to invest it, how to save it, and make it grow. Because rich people let their money work for them, as opposed to us. We work for our money. So just thought I'd do this video as far as, when you get into this type of business, be mindful of the money. Don't get caught up in, money's just the only thing that's just your entire world, because you start to shut people out that you care about, and that's not a good thing. It's not a good trait to be, super, I guess, greedy, better of a lack of words. But I just thought that I would mention this as far as, the finance aspect of the music industry. It can be good, it can be bad, because here's another thing quickly. You can make $1 million in 1 year. You can. But guess what? Next year you might not make nothing. So it's good to invest that money, not to spend all of it, So until next time, take care.